got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through.
Welcome to another episode of Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santee. This week, not like any difference has happened between any other week. I have no smooth way to get into what this episode's about. I mean, hey, you've looked at the title, like as if the title's up there or something like that. You've looked at the title and you've realized that this episode, that might be record timing, 30 seconds into the episode and we have loud vehicles. Some things never change. But last week's episode, we talked about being home alone. This week, we're also going to talk about holiday cheer, mainly because, number one, check out last week's episode. It should be on this ticker by now if you haven't seen it. If you're going to be spending the holidays alone, there's nothing wrong with that. It's going to be totally okay, guys. We'll get through this. But last week when I was talking about it, I realized that although I'm going to be alone for Christmas, and this is very much by choice, I think part of the reason why I'm okay with it is because I'm obsessed with Christmas and just, I would honestly say, outside of any other time of the year, I would almost bet that I'm my happiest in December. I mean, last year was a little bit different in the sense that, yeah, let's do this whole thing where I talk about like my personal life as if that's not what the podcast is about. Last year, the weekend, honestly, a couple days before Thanksgiving, I had just broken up, or not just broken up. Yeah, I had just broken up, been broken up with. I don't know how it ended. You know how it ended. But I had ended the long relationship or serious relationship that I was in had ended. Mike was sad Mike. And as you guys have heard, it is a very much Santee Esteban family tradition that the weekend after Thanksgiving, we set up Christmas. I don't know why. I don't know how it started, but I'm about it. Ever since I've lived on my own, I kind of like keep doing that, keep the tradition alive, as if my parents don't continue to do that. They very much still do. But yeah, it almost turned into this thing where I was legitimately making TikToks about ambulances driving by my apartment because they're emergencies. But I was making TikToks on like a day counter of how long into December it had taken me to set up my decorations. I don't actually know how deep into December we got, but I know it wasn't fun. But even then, once I set everything up, everything was joyful and cheery and all the Hallmark things, commercial things that people want you to believe about Christmas came about. And I did feel my mood get exponentially better. And this year, I wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. Now, are you saying, Mike, you still processing a breakup a year later? I don't know. Mind your business. But I knew for sure I had to decorate that tree. And honestly, the only thing that I couldn't decide on was whether to go traditional or changing it up. And honestly, I'm so extra this year that I got 2 trees. So you'll find out more about that later. But yeah, now the living room's got a tree. The bedroom's got a tree. Because you know what? Mike is a living, breathing Christmas rom-com. And I apologize to no one about that. Now I had to go through the list. Nobody. Because number one, Mike is a wholesome man. Mike is not romantically involved with any ladies or guys. This is going downhill. Mike's not romantically involved with anybody. Single Mike. We're okay. And I just, outside of the romantic part, I'm a walking Christmas movie. Think of if the Grinch and Buddy the Elf merged into one person. And I feel like that's me, where I am cynical about the holidays, but I also love the holidays. We'll talk about that and unpack that later. Why? I don't know. But yeah, and what I realized when asking you guys about decorations and things like that is that quarantine has kind of ruined the Christmas spirit for a lot of people in my friend group, mainly because there's just no motivation. Why celebrate if no one's going to really see it? And I am not having it. Number one, or number 2 probably in this episode, let's take a little break. If you don't celebrate Christmas, that's okay. Whatever winter holiday you celebrate, whether that be Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I've run out of Christmas holidays. But yeah, celebrate whatever you want to celebrate, but decorate and be festive. Because here's something that you might not know about Mike. If he's your friend, I do not accept a lack of Christmas cheer or holiday cheer in the month of December. I don't care. You're gonna be happy, and I will force this happiness upon you. That sounds very threatening. I apologize. But yeah, there's probably there's definitely, if you had to make a contract of a Mike friendship, there's a clause for sure in there that says, I don't know, you're not allowed to skip holiday cheer. I will even go as far as to take you to a bunch of cheap stores, so you can't say that, oh, I don't want to spend money on blah, blah, blah. And I will make it look like Santa's Workshop vomited in your living space. Because there's something that's very, very happiness-inducing about a Christmas tree. At a minimum, a Christmas tree. You don't got to do all this other stuff where you're throwing stuff here, putting this out there. But at a minimum, a Christmas tree. Because life is better through the warm glow of a festive bush. And I know we are. Is that going to make the trailer? We'll find out. Should I text my ex? Those are not related. Those are not. Oh, man. Anyways, try and reel this one back in. Christmas trees, they're sparkly. They have a warm glow to them. They make me happy, so they're going to make you happy. And plus, who doesn't get distracted by sparkly things? If you don't, you're not a real person. So I just figured, and I might show some pictures here and there, but with Christmas cheer, wherever you guys are, I'm vomiting just thinking about it. Like I said, it's not about what's out there. It's about what's in here. And currently, there's a lot of Christmas in here that I need to get out to you guys. So, decorate your stuff. If you want me to spend your money, I will gladly spend your money and decorate your entire place. I'll even set trees up. I don't care. Whatever trees you need. Do that, or else Mike will come find you and set up Christmas for you, because it's time to be cheerful, people. So very different than some episodes, this transition, we'll see how smoothly this goes, is going to be that of a new segment where friends bring drinks over and Mike figures out if he likes those. I don't know why I said it that weird, but in case you didn't understand that, the new segment is going to be called Just the Sip. Yeah, we're sticking to it. Just the Sip, where friends come over and bring drinks for Mike, and then he tastes them and gives you his live reaction and feedback to whatever that is. For, I guess, the beginning of this, it's really going to be wine for a while, because Mike has not met a wine that he likes. So what you'll see now is that next segment. So let's go on over. Let's play the commercial real early this time, but let's go over to Just the Sip. Welcome to Just the Sip, the segment that I probably introduced, but if I don't trust myself enough, I don't think I introduced it on the segue to this. But it is a segment in the Problems on Problems podcast where friends will bring over wine. For now, we might change it to whiskey season 2 if I find a wine that I like, and I judge them. You get to hear the story behind the wine, not really behind the wine. You get to hear about the wine from said friend, and we judge it based off of 3 criteria: the bottle/logo design, the openability, and this is really for like later on when these things get a little complex, and lastly, taste. Does Mike actually like it? Once we wrap all those things up, I'll give you guys a score, and if I remember to keep score, then you guys will see a ranking of all the wines that I try throughout this little bit. Today is a familiar face. If you don't know her by now, that means you weren't watching enough episodes. That means you didn't watch the Halloween episode. Shame on you, because that was a really good one. I don't actually know that. I think the divorce episode's still number 1. That's because you guys are nosy, but the very talented, very smart, and very knowledgeable about wine, Taylor.
I wouldn't say very, but semi.
More than me.
I'm glad to be here.
So, wine number 1.
Wait.
Ooh.
So I think we need to give them the backstory of why we decided to start doing this.
Yes, you do that. Because
Okay.
I forget.
So if you watch the Halloween episode, you'll know that Mike said he doesn't like wine. And he doesn't know what makes a good wine. So I took it upon myself to try to introduce Mike to some wine. And hopefully we find one that he enjoys.
If I do, I promise you I'll get hungover on it and black out and not like wine for another 2 years. Soft promise. But, so I guess we're going to start off with what you called is it less fuller body? How do you
No,
describe
that's actually
this?
a full-bodied wine. It's on the heavier side.
This is great. This is going to go downhill so fast. So that you guys know, I'm filming at least 4 wines right now. So by the end of this, who knows? But the fullest body.
Yes.
This one.
So that just refers to the taste. But yes, it is a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah. Why is it French? Is it just a wine thing?
It's a wine thing.
That's fine.
France and California and Italy and Spain.
Monticello
make good wines.
I don't know if that's in frame. It has to be. Because
no, this
my
one's
knees
in
are
Napa
in frame.
Valley. Oh, in frame.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to cut that out.
Lord, we're keeping it. But yeah, so fuller body. What does that mean?
It just means the taste.
Does it taste heavier?
Yeah.
Okay.
The taste is heavier.
That's fine. Cool.
So cabs are best with fattier foods and salty foods. So
that's why we got nuts.
we have snacks.
Michael. It's a family show. It's not a family show. You're probably 10 minutes into the episode. It's no longer a family show.
Only the intro is a family show.
As you know by my 2-year-old nephew. Just the intros for kids. Everything else, stop letting them watch it. It's your fault. But we've got this one from, what is it?
Napa.
Yes, it's a Napa Valley wine from Monticello Vineyards. Vintage 2018. I would say, logo-wise, I'm cool with it. It's very simple. I don't like... It kind of makes me feel like old white, though. Maybe it's a Monticello part.
It's definitely like a wine that you might see at an Italian restaurant, I feel like.
Okay. Openability, it was easy. It wasn't anything crazy.
Just classic cork.
Yeah. Now, I should not say that. Be thankful, Mike. I feel like I'm supposed to do this?
Yep. Swirl it.
Okay.
It doesn't have any legs,
I think
which
this
is
is-
interesting.
What's a leg?
So when you swirl that, if you see like lines dripped down the side, they're legs. And
I'm
that
already
usually is like a good sign of like a good wine.
No, this doesn't have legs.
So it doesn't have legs, but I don't know.
Well,
You're also
cheers.
supposed to smell it before you taste it. And I learned a trick yesterday that if you open your mouth when you smell it, you can like kind of taste it.
This is going to be great. All right. Wine number 1.
Oh, there's the legs.
Oh, look.
There's some legs.
Legs. Maybe it's just my glasses. Might get better glasses. Okay. Let's do it. You know what? Never mind.
So I'm going to say
Let's give a wine drinker's opinion first.
this is not my favorite. It's a little dry, which is weird for a cab, I feel like.
It tastes like pennies.
Try some nuts with it. It might help.
Let's get some nuts. Okay, great, Mike. Maybe if you could grab nuts. No, people.
It's better on the second sip, though.
Is that what they say? I'm going to mute all this out. It doesn't matter. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it again.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Okay, sip, not chug. It's not going to be good.
You know what? It still tastes as bad as the first time. Okay, so
wine is best drink sipped.
that's why this is called Just the Sip.
Yeah,
you should
you
listen to your
can't-
title, Mike.
You can't chug wine.
I just knew this was not going to be a good time. So I was like, let's get this one out of the way. Overall, on the list of wine, it's probably going to be, I'm going to give it, Give it a 5 out of 10.
You know, I'd agree.
Not great.
Not great.
Yeah. All right. So I'll be back.
Today's wines are ones we just happen to have around our house.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
So we didn't strategically pick these for any reason. Just keep that in mind.
I just had them. But yeah, we'll be back with wine number 2. All right, wine number 2, because you don't need an intro because this is the same episode. And I might just film an intro, just keep it up. No, that's not true. All right, wine number 2 is
It's a blend.
It's a blend from Napa Valley. I can't speak anymore. Napa Valley. 2016 Buon Cristiani. OPC.
Yeah, so this one's mostly Cab, a little bit Syrah, a little bit Malbec, and then a tiny bit Merlot.
Ooh.
So the difference between all of them is like Cab is probably the heaviest.
Mm-hmm.
I love Syrahs. They're really heavy. They're pretty heavy too. A Malbec is a medium bodied, and then a Merlot is on the lighter side, but it's a really dry wine.
Okay. Here we go. All right. So let's see if I learned anything from the last one. You gotta swish it. I'm gonna keep swishing it until I see legs. Is it a thing where wines might not have legs?
I don't know.
So far, nothing. Legs, come here.
I'm not seeing any.
I'm seeing 0 legs.
There's sulfates in it. You can see those.
What's a sulfate? I mean, scientifically, I know what a sulfate is, but is it like this?
Yeah. Oh, I got a little bit of legs.
Okay. This is fine. We got some legs. I mean, shit.
Next time I might need to bring the wine glasses.
You should. I don't use these for wine, as you can tell. These are like my lemonade glasses.
Lemonade.
Yeah, lemonade, man. It's going to be great. All right. We'll see. It looks dark AF. Do they all look this dark?
It's red wine.
Okay.
The only reason red wine would be lighter is if it's sweeter, and honestly, in my opinion, that's garbage.
This smells better. Not by much, but
red
better.
wines and cabs are like, or red blends and cabs are really similar, obviously because they're like
it's got
mostly Cab.
Yeah. This one is 44% Cab.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
We know Mike does not like cabs.
All right, so there's sweetness up front.
Mm-hmm.
It takes longer for the aftertaste to get there. Okay.
It's not as dry. It's not as like rough on the palate.
No.
I feel like.
It's definitely better than the first one. I'll tell you that. Jesus. Like
Yeah.
That was...
Oh, much better. I would say this one would probably be good with some chocolate.
Okay. We have chocolate.
It has raspberry in it too, so the chocolate does. So.
Somebody's prepared with things. Not Mike. I'm not gonna lie, the chocolate's good. I don't know about the wine, but the chocolate's great.
All the snacks are from.
Oh, look at that. Sponsor us. Send the check, man. Or else I'm gonna bleep out Taylor saying that next time. Second sip. Not a gulp.
I really wish this wine had like a description on it. Like,
yeah.
you know how on the back of wine labels it'll like describe the flavors in it, and then you're like, oh, I can pair it with this because it has hints of that.
Right.
I feel like this like kind of brings out like almost a cocoa or chocolatey, coffee-ish flavor from the wine. I don't know if you see that.
I know nothing.
You're just here for a good time.
This is better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not great, but it's better.
Like if you're drunk and this is all you have left to drink,
yeah,
you would probably drink it.
This is a good drunk wine.
Mm.
I feel bad saying this. This company's be like, what
it's probably like a really good wine.
How dare this
we know nothing.
Street rat say something about our wine?
So yeah, see that in the glass.
Oh yeah, a little.
Don't
like
freak
sediments.
out when you see that, because that's just part of the wine.
Ugh, it's not kidding. Wait. You know what? Third sip, there's less aftertaste.
Ooh.
Never mind, it's there. It took just way longer. I think it's the dryness that's
you're
like getting
used
me.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. All in all, I would say, I really feel like I shouldn't have given that first one 5 out of 10, but I feel like it's a fair score. I would say this is like, I'd say 6.5 or 7. That's not true. I can't give something that high. I would say 6 out of 10. It's better than the other one, but not by much. I might even venture to give it a 5.5 for now.
It's not my favorite, and I really love blends and I love cabs, and these two were just honestly not great.
That's not it, guys.
I would probably do like a 5.8.
Okay, not bad. 5.8. Whatever that average is, Mike, put it in there. The average is 5.9. You genius. And we're back. So, I honestly don't know what I'm back from at this point, but but this week or last week, I don't even know where I am anymore. The great debate. We'll do that if it's not food related. We'll probably just leave it for that, just wasting time for the segment animation. But yeah, last week I asked you selfishly, traditional versus untraditional in a battle of better Christmas decorations, or what you guys prefer. I know for me, I'm normally a very traditional Christmas guy, like the greens, reds, golds, silvers, whatever that is. This year, I will say that there was a little bit of lack of Christmas spirit, but also still an air of extraness because it's me. And so the main tree this year is all navy and gold with a little bit of, I guess, a silver accent. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I mean, shoot, look at this. You see this? This is fancy. This is regal. That was like $3 on Amazon as a pillow cover, so you should probably get some if you want. But main tree was very untraditional this year, navy and gold throughout, whereas because Mike can't stand not having, I don't know, traditional trees around or traditional decorations around, I got a second tree for my bedroom, and that one's decorated with all the traditional Christmas ornaments and color schemes. So now the bedroom has a tree, the living room has a tree. But you guys, the first time I put this out there, before the episode even came out, it was a 50-50 split, and it was the most annoying thing ever because y'all are trolls. This time around, 70% of you went with traditional versus changing it up. And with that, I kind of need to know something else about you guys this week. Do you prefer a real tree or a fake tree? And I'll tell you right now, Mike is... how do I phrase this delicately? That's what it is. Mike grew up in a household where one of his siblings, and maybe a parent or two, was allergic to pine trees? I don't remember what the reason was anymore. No. They were definitely allergic to pine, things like that. I know Christmas trees are not pine trees. Some of them are like firs and stuff. I think he was allergic to evergreens. Maybe that's what it was. But in the spirit of not killing my sibling, my parents got an artificial tree, or a fake tree, as I like to call them. And so, I don't know, first 7 years of my life, real tree. Next time, fake tree, artificial tree. It don't matter. Synthetic, I don't care. Fake tree. Be cool with it. And I'm not opposed to it. Me personally, living in apartments, going back and forth, I prefer a fake tree just because it's cost effective and it's time efficient. Like, I have had the same 7.5 foot high and it's like a 4 foot base. It's a Kennedy fir that was super cheap, pre-lit, that kind of has allowed me to just pack it up, put it in a box, move over to the next apartment, and then come Christmas, set everything up again without like shopping for a tree or anything like that. Makes this whole this Mike tradition of setting things up after the weekend of Thanksgiving pretty easy because I don't have to worry about finding a tree. And also for me, cost effectively, like I've paid, what did I pay? I think I paid like $70 to $100 for this fake tree, and that was 7 years ago. So do the math, but price per use. I think is a lot more efficient than a real tree. Now, don't get me wrong. As soon as I move into a house and have ample space, I'll probably have at least one real tree. You heard that right. I'm going to have multiple trees. It's too late. I already have 2 fake trees. They're coming with me. But yeah, so that's my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think. Vote on the polls, do all that good stuff. But we'll move on over to our Friday follows. This week, I really have no words for this first one. Making its way into the hearts of many Charlotteans and into the Charlotte diaspora. Is that how you say it? Diaspora? Diaspora? I really don't know. We'll see. But yeah, is Spicycltmemes memes. That little pepper has touched my heart. I don't like where this is going. You know I'm a sucker for memes, especially a local meme page, and Spicycltmemes memes has been on it from day one. They've amassed a ridiculous amount of followers in a short amount of time, but it is because it's the quality and people needed it, especially during these times. So if you want to know anything about Charlotte culture, I strongly suggest following that page. You can find them on Instagram at Spicycltmemes. The next one, sometimes they are spicy, but they're definitely not memes, is WhatTheFriesCLT, a Charlotte-based food truck that is, I wish I could say that they're only fries, but that's what they're known for. But these guys kill the game. They're doing bits where, I don't know a time that they aren't sold out, especially during the pandemic. Almost all their orders have switched to online orders just so that you could get in ahead of time, because if you try and wait out this in-person line, you might not get food, and their food is amazing. The reason why we're shouting them out this week is that literally as of this recording, they've announced that they're opening a brick and mortar store at the corner of Park Road and Pineville-Matthews Road in early 2021. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, definitely go to their food truck. Boys are killing it. Y'all keep doing your thing. But yeah, guys, with that, hopefully you liked the Just the Sip segment. We're going to have a lot more of those. I say that because who knows what week this is and what Mike's trying. But yeah, Just the Sip, new thing, doing all that stuff, doing bits. People, get your holiday spirit in gear or else I will find you. But don't forget to follow the Problems on Problems podcast on Instagram at Problems on Problems podcast, on Twitter at Problems_pod. And like always, follow your boy at Mike Santy 18 on all social media. But with that, guys, like I always say, if it's not a good time, hope it's a good story, and I will see you next week.
Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The bow and affection, I summon and dumb it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. A bow and affection, I summon and dub it.